I want to continue the conversation now and bring in the latest here. I've got today Scott Blakeman. He's political commentator, also Judge Ken Vecchio, attorney and GOP strategist. Guys, thanks for coming back and hanging on. Scott, I'll start with you. I know that you have quarantined yourself. Tell me a little bit about how that's going and explain the political landscape that's happening with this as well. I feel like a lot of the rhetoric has calmed down a little bit over the political landscape.
Well, we don't need rhetoric. We don't need opinions and speculation. We need facts. And as the White House has said, they're recommending that people in various age groups and everybody, New York, everybody now, really, the quarantine is the way to go. In New York City, where I live, bars and restaurants are shut down except for takeout or delivery. Everyone who knows anything about science, about infectious disease, in the U.S. and around the world is saying we are at war. And this is not to alarm people. This is not to make people panic. But right now, we need to only go out. We need to work from home. We need to only go out for essential reasons, to get food and medicine. That is it. And maybe more than 15 days. It could be several weeks. To be encouraging China, very strict quarantine, which we need. It's not illegal. The federal government, the state and local governments have the power to tell us what to do. We need that. We need a strict quarantine, and that is the only way that we could possibly avoid this horrific estimate that this one British group came out today, that the White House is basing its opinions on, that 2.2 million Americans could die if we don't take these actions. We need to do this now. Everyone needs to take this seriously and stay home and only go out as absolutely essential.
I need to bring in Ken really quick on this, Scott. Stand by for me. Ken, I know there are, it's a very serious topic, but there are varying opinions about this as well, as far as, being told to, stay indoors, don't go to certain places, don't congregate with a certain amount of people. Again, what's your thought on that?
Well, it's great, first of all, to hear Scott actually citing the White House in favor of what they're saying. Let me clarify my position. It's obviously quite rational that where you have large congregations of people, that a disease can more easily spread. So the president's guidelines they make a lot of sense. And it's very logical that one should follow. And for the time being, especially people who have pre-existing conditions and people who are very elderly, to stay away from, crowds that are more than 10 people. And everybody should try to do that as much as possible. At the same time, of course, we want to make sure that miscreants in the future don't take this very unfortunate, serious circumstance that we're going through now and try to extend it to different types of circumstances that don't have this seriousness level to try to inhibit our free speech rights and our rights to freely assemble. But yes, I do believe that there is common sense in limiting engagements in large groups while we try to get through this. And what I think the president is really doing, first of all, there's not laws that are being enacted that are enforcing people to do this by the White House. There's guidelines and there's policies. And the smartest person is the person who knows he or she doesn't know everything. And I don't know everything. I'm not a scientific expert.
Sure, we're
I
still
need to
all
listen to experts. We are learning about this. So let's temper what we're doing, but let's not lose focus of that. We don't want people to take Rahm Emanuel's phrase of never let a good crisis go to waste. And I don't think Rahm Emanuel's a bad guy. He meant that in political circumstances where it doesn't cause danger, okay? Yeah. So in this crisis, I think we all need to be rational. We all need to do a balancing test. And let's go out there and try to get through this together.
I want to ask you this. I know that you're a father as well, right?
Yes.
What's happening with your family? How are you guys getting through this difficult time? And how do you explain to your kids what's going on in the world today?
It's very challenging. My son is 11 years old. He's an amazing wrestler and football player. He's also an actor. Outside of this, school is not in session now.
Right.
He can't go to any more wrestling tournaments. We are set up to go to wrestling tournaments. Even in West Virginia, we looked at going to one because there's not a case there. And in West Virginia, they shut it down. And it's very difficult during this time period, especially for children, to have something to do in their lives. Now, my son is very resourceful. We're working out. We can still go for.
So you're finding things to do.
Yes, we're finding things to do, and school is taking it seriously, and they're doing it remotely.
Let me bring in Scott Blakeman really quick. I just want to get your response on that, because we do have to shift how we interact socially, not just with ourselves and our loved ones, but also with our kids as well.
This is a huge shift. We've never experienced this ever in the history of this country. And the world hasn't gone through this at this magnitude. It's very, very difficult. But we really need to listen to the scientists, to the experts. And in the end, this will be nothing to stay in for a few weeks. We have all this technology now. You can watch everything on Netflix. You have FaceTime. You have all these things. We're not living in the dark ages. But really, everyone has to come together. For America to work, we all have to work together.
Scott, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Can I come over with a sleeping bag and a big corned beef and hang out with you for a while?
Anytime, Ken.
Thanks,
It is St. Patrick's Day. Look, we're even bringing you guys together. I think this is the first time on this show. Guys, thanks so much for coming on. You guys stay safe. That's Judge Ken Vecchio, attorney and GOP strategist. Scott Blakeman, political commentator. I'm sure we'll see you guys again.